Hello guys, welcome to the introduction class of the Guidewire technology. So today I'll be giving a short introduction about Guidewire technology and how it will be used in the insurance industry. So usually Guidewire is one of the leading technologies used in property and casualty insurance, also called as P&C insurance. So companies use Guidewire applications to manage their core insurance operations like creating a policy or handling their claims or processing their bill payments like billing processing. So on a high level, Guidewire technology is used for insurance domain for end-to-end processing of their policy lifecycle, claims lifecycle, and bill payments and bill processing. So majorly Guidewire is widely used by the insurance companies in USA and many other companies like UK, Australia, Japan. So one thing about Guidewire technology is you just need to know the prerequisites as a Java OOPS concept so that you'll be able to learn more about the process flows and much more. So having said that, moving forward, like we'll see what are the prerequisites required and what are the core concepts that we have in the policy center or any other applications. Like there are four major applications in Guidewire technology. So majorly, like I said, Guideware is used for property and casualty insurance. Like for, let's say example, you have your vehicle, you want to get insurance. Like in USA, the companies make use of the specific tool. So let me decode like what exactly is used for, I mean, why do we need to make use of this specific application? So whenever you're building any application, you need to build it from the scratch. But Guideware provides you like framework where you can manage your policy life cycles and billing life cycles and claims life cycles. And you also have contact manager, which is used for managing your contact. Okay. So majorly, like I said, there are four applications in Guidewire technology. One is PolicyCenter, which is used for handling your policies, like right from your creation of an account and then processing your specific life cycle of a policy, like making changes or cancellations or renewals. And when it comes to the Billing Center application, then here you will be having like automatic bill payments, like agency commissions, and much more about Billing Center, like payment processing and all other commissions related. And when it comes to the claim center, here we are going to process about your accidents like creation of a claims, processing the check, and inspections of the incident, and much more. And when it comes to the contact manager, this is like a centralized application for synchronizing your contacts, its addresses across all the applications. All right, moving to the next. So what do we require for learning a Guidewire technology? As a prerequisite, it is mandatory that you learn about Java OOP concept like object-oriented programming language so that you'll have a better idea whenever you're writing a basic functionality logic that's needed in the Guidewire application. So ideally, in the Guidewire application, you will be working on Gosu programming language, which is majorly similar like Java. That is the reason initially you need to get familiarized with the basic functionality of Java, like object-oriented programming language. So 80% of the syntax is same for both Java and Gosu language. And when it comes to SQL, it is majorly used when you're working with production support project, where you need to view the data that is present at the application level. Sorry. And PCF, these are like user interface customization, which you're going to learn in the main course, like when you're learning about Guidewire technology. So majorly you need to focus on object-oriented programming language, like creation of a classes, understanding about classes, objects, method, like all the four concepts of object-oriented programming language, and like final keyword, this keyword, or functions, return types, primitive data type. These are few of the concepts that you need to recap before learning about Guideware. You can parallelly learn Guideware and also you can parallelly learn Java OOP concept because it is like minimal coding application that you're going to develop on Guideware. Even for user interface customization, you don't have to get dependent on HTML or CSS. It's completely like drag and drop, which are known as PCF files, page configuration format files. So to learn complete about Guideware technology, approximately it takes 30 days period of time. So usually in your real-time projects, any developer majorly will be working on one application. So any developer will be primary skill will be only in one application. So the concept that you learn in the application is common across all the applications technically, but functional knowledge might be different, like across policy, claims, and billing. And when it comes to the team structure that you have in Guideway technology, especially when you're working in a real-time project, so you'll be having two major teams for each of the application. Like let's say we have an example like Policy Center. So for Policy Center, you'll be having a configuration team separate and integration team separate. So configuration team is going to handle about the user interface customization, data model changes, that means creation of a table and their connectivity, and also validating the data that is provided by the user or a agent, and also creating new product. On the other hand, so for configuration, you will be needed very minimal coding, like 50% you can think of. Like major part of it will be present like drag and drop, and minor portion of it you'll be having even working on basic code logic, which you can refer ChatGPTs and then try to write the logic needed. And on the other hand, as part of integration team, you'll be mostly working on Java programming language. Like there are like five specific frameworks that you need to understand. One is on the web services, which is like REST and SOAP APIs, and which will be used in connecting with external integration, like external third-party application. Like let's say you want to validate the email address that was provided while creation of a contact. Like when you're creating a policy, you need to validate the email address provided by a specific agent. So to validate that email address, you need to integrate your policy center with external application. Like if you search in Google, you'll have zero bounds application, which actually validates the email address provided as part of input parameter. So also you have messaging, which is like asynchronous mechanism, and you also have batch process and work queues, which is for scheduled jobs like to process multiple records at a time. So these are the two teams that you'll be having, irrespective of the application that you are entering, like whether Policy Center or Claim Center or Billing Center. So by default, you'll be having two teams, configuration and integration separate. But in some projects, you might be seeing a common integration team for three applications, but definitely you'll be having separate teams for configuration on all the applications. Like for PC means Policy Center, CC means Claim Center, and BC is Billing Center, and CM is your contact manager. So usually you'll not have much work on the contact manager, but majorly you'll be having work on policy and claims and minimal work on the billing center. So each team is different. So these are the four applications. Majorly policy center is used for life cycle of policy. To give you a quick glimpse of what policy center does actually is, so in a day-to-day, like some people who are entering into guideway technology might have some assumptions that do we need to create the policies, or are we selling the policies to a real-time customers, or is it like more like agents or anything as such? So the answer is no. You're actually entering into application development side, which is used by the insurance companies. So your end users, that means your agents or underwriters or customers are going to make use of these applications. But you are, as a developer, are responsible for developing the application. So let's say you're working on Policy Center application and your client has requested for customization of the screen on the user interface or backend API, some part of customization is required. So as part of this, you're going to do the application development. So once you have developed the application, which will be used by the end users in creating the policies or managing the life cycle of a policy, so they need to create the policy. So you can't directly go live into a production application without testing the application. So for testing your application, you need to create some test policies so that the configurations or the modifications that you have done are working accurately. So that is the time where you're going to create the policies, and you need to understand how to create a policy or how to create an account. But it is not the real-time policies that you're going to create. These are test policies to test your application which was built. All right. And when it comes to the billing center, your bill cycles, your EMI payments, like automatic payments, your handling of your credit cards or bank account, or internally or externally, which is connected with payment gateways. So end of the day, all the billing related stuff will be managed in Billing Center. Okay, the commission to agents or your pay cycle, like it can be like mm, bi-weekly payment or monthly payment or quarterly payment, yearly payment or down payment or any kind of payments or commissions to the agent, like 10% commission. So likewise, all billing related stuff will be present in here. And claim center, like as soon as you get met with an accident, you will be claiming it to your insurance company. Your insurance company has to create a claim and they have to inspect your specific incident, and then they have to get the records. Like let's say you met with an accident, they have to get the police report. So they get it from some external application. So integration team will work on getting that data. And at the same time, you also need user interface customization where agents can interact with your claim center application, and then they're going to process the claim on creation of a claim and then start creation of a check and all other stuff related to it, like first notice of loss. And contact manager is like centralized application. So it will be very minimal work that you'll be getting on contact manager. So all your applications are linked internally with contact manager. So if you create a contact in policy center while creation of a policy, the contact will be synchronized with your contact manager. And at the same time, the same contact details will be synchronized with the billing center as well. Because so you have created a policy, let's say ABC is the name of the contact. Okay. And let's say you have modified the name of the contact as ABC to ABCD. Now you have created a claim as part of the same policy. Now the contact is synced in ABC. Now when you update the contact, even in the claim center, it has to get reflected, right? So you are not going to manually go into claim center again and then update the contact details here as well for the same contact. So contact manager is more like a centralized application for managing your contact addresses and the relationship between these roles and permissions of these contacts. Okay, contact is not only the user contact, it can be an agent, it can be an underwriter, it can be a company contact. So there can be multiple types of contact, right? So those things will be handled in your contact manager. So these are the four applications that you're having, and approximately it will take you 4 weeks of time for learning. So you'll be only getting into one specific application. So majorly you'll be having work on Policy Center. So as a beginners, it is recommended to choose Policy Center so that you'll have more learning opportunities, because that's the application which has a lot of processing of life cycle of a policy in handling them. So what you'll be learning, like you'll be learning on how to set up your application locally, like for practicing purpose or any kind of, even in your real-time project, you need to work on that application. So you need to set up your JDKs or IntelliJ application and your environments, local environment. So you'll be learning about environment setup, I mean your local environment setup, and also you'll be learning on data model. That means your entities that are known as like tables, and also the basics of your Gosu programming language, and PCF files and validation, which are like page configuration formats for customization of your screen, and validations to validate your data that was provided by the agent, and product model to create new products. Like usually you'll have multiple products like personal auto policy or homeowners policy, general liability policy or workers' compensation policy, or different kinds of line of businesses. Like your insurance company has divided your insurance policies across based on specific product. And also you'll be working, learning about workflows and rule sets that are required and underwriting rules for reducing the risk of the policy while creating a policy. All right. So majorly like career opportunities will be like configuration developer and integration developer, two different streams. But ideally, as an integration developers will have a high level understanding about the configuration development, because they also need to handle about the data model changes required. And for jobs, you'll get started with 2 years of experience in the market, so where you can learn the course and then try to excel more about the concepts related and more of practicing. So minimum 2 years of experience is required for getting into Guidewire technology. So that's where you get started. So that's all I had to cover today. So that is about your Guideware career path, like what is the prerequisite and what are you going to learn and where are you, I mean, what exactly you're going to learn and what is the domain that you're going to get into. So for any kind of queries, So in the description, we have provided our email address and the contact number. Feel free to drop a message or feel free to make a direct call. If the call is not picking it up, please drop a message to our WhatsApp. Our team will get back to you. So you'll have all the details related to our contact information over the description of this YouTube video so that you can try to reach out to us or drop us a message according to the availability of the team. They'll be contacting you back. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good day.